A song by Steve Love called the Isle of Wight Lifeboat Song, which is a song about a man who got in trouble in the seas around the Isle of Wight, and the Isle of Wight lifeboat crew came to his rescue but began to bicker and in the end left him to his own devices because they could not agree who should rescue him. Anyway, it's called the Isle of Wight Lifeboat Song. One day I walked out on Bembridge Beach, and I went too far and got out of reach. I had forgot to check the tides and the seas, and the water was surrounding me. I hurried on and made great haste, with water rising past my waist, and then my chest and reached my neck, and that was when I thought, oh heck! I shouted, help, I am going to drown, but then I spotted bearing down a lifeboat that had heard my cry from Bembridge Head RNLI. The skipper, bearded and tanned, and all that beside, reached out his hand. Perhaps I would not drown as I feared, but then another lifeboat appeared. It was the Ride inshore lifeboat, and they threw me out an orange float. Its outshore engines gave a burst, and its skipper said we saw him first. The Bembridge group said, go away, we are here ahead of you today. Now beggar off and don't make a fuss, we found him and he belongs to us. But just then, with a fearsome din, the Yarmouth lifeboat powered in. They fired a rocket past my head and grabbed the end, the skipper said. But while the others blocked the way, the inshore boat from Sandown Bay raced by them in the foamy brine, then spun around and flung a line. And then came through the wake and the spray the lifeboat from Freshwater Bay. They circled in their rescue craft and launched in the air an inflatable raft. The other lifeboat said with good cause, that fellow's ours, he is not yours. Then the crews began to bicker as to who had got there quicker. While things were getting pretty hot, the Cow's lifeboat sped past the lot. They spotted me a bit too late and called, hey, there's a queue, just you wait. As tempered frayed, so it would seem, the Ventnor Coast Guard rescue team arrived and said it looks like he's a coastal rescue, so stand back please. The boats were churning up the spray, and their spray was nearly drowning me. Then as I almost came a cropper, the RAFC rescue chopper came with massive spinning rotors, powered by twin Westland motors, with divers scrambling down their cables, just as fast as they were able. They hit the water with a splash, which triggered off a frantic dash by all the crews trying to grab me first, but I was the one who came off worst. For as they all joined in the fray, I got abandoned in the spray, and they disputed all the day until they gave up and went away. But then there was some good news for me, as the tide was receding fortunately, and I waded through the ebbing foam, and I got back ashore dripping wet and caught my bus home. There is only one more thing to say to you, this story is not really true. When you see a lifeboat in, please put some money in. The Isle of Wight lifeboat song.
Very good, Brian.
The Isle of Wight lifeboat. Was that
Is
about 7?
Yeah,
They say it's not a true story.
I'm
Well,
told.
back in the 1970s, operating from the mainland, it was over at Calshot. There used to be a voluntary organisation that had a boat, and they were known as the League of Venturers, and they used to. It was young people mainly they had on board, but they used to come out and. I mean, I in those days used to sail in the Western Solent, and they used to come out and try and impose compulsory rescue on people. Almost, it was.
Didn't realise there were so many lifeboat stations on the Isle of Wight.
I know of one person who actually called up the Coast Guard and told them to call them off. They were so keen on rescuing people.
Oh dear.
I don't think the League of Venturers exist anymore.
How much do we contribute a month toward the RNLI?
Whatever you put in the
We give
box.
them will we give them a standing order?
I do too, actually. Yeah.
£2 or whatever it is a month. I'm not sure. We do several, you see, so you tend to lose count. Anybody phones me up, I said, which one would you like me to give up so I can contribute to you?
You know, the funny thing about the RNLI is they get most of their money from inland.
Mm.
The biggest
Well,
contributions come from places like Birmingham.
We've got a lifeboat station in Eastbourne, but only one, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So are you saying that the lifeboat service is supported by donations?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Voluntary.
And it's not government run?
No.
It's not government run. I think the government do support them, but I think it's the majority is by donations.
Oh,
And the air ambulance.
Yes, they're all volunteers.
Yeah.
really?
Oh yes.
All volunteers.
Oh, see, in the States, it's different. It's government run.